Points to 12 at the Willows on Wednesday, and always a big game when Bobby Goulding is playing. He loves to impress in front of our cameras. And Jonathan Davis today taking his place on the substitutes bench. Thinking behind that, according to Phil Larder, the coach will have a look and see how things are going, and he plans to introduce Davis after 20 minutes of this match at the Boulevard. Hull, the defeat on Wednesday by Wakefield by 16 points to 20, denied them a chance of moving into the top four. So they're now in 6th place as they enter this match. Ivan Henjak, the Australian scrum half, 29 years old, the man who has to combat the threat of Bobby Goulding here today. Check on the substitutes for you. Hull have got Mike Dixon, 21-year-old under-21 international, and Danny Dive, who is the Frenchman with the Australian accent from Carcassonne, and Dive is here on a month's trial at the Boulevard. Witness confirmation that Davis is in 14 and young Steve McCurry, the teenager, is in 15. Richard Gay, the Hull fullback, 2 tries against Widnes here last season, and a try also in the 1991 Premiership final at Old Trafford between these two sides. Match referee is Jim Smith from Halifax. Ian Ollerton of Wigan was down to take control of this game. Mr. Ollerton, though, was on duty in the Regal Trophy semi-final yesterday between Bradford Northern and Castleford. Congratulations, by the way, to Bradford Northern making it through to that final. Paul Hume, Widnes captain, playing in his test spot of hooker, won 8 caps for his country. A try against Salford in midweek, half-back hooker or back rower. And there's the opposite number, Ivan Henjak, the Aussie, who these days is skippering Hull. Well, we had a real treat for you on Friday night. Warrington against Leeds was a cracker. I have a feeling this might be just the same, Mike.
Yes, I think really both sides love to throw the ball around. Widnes, of course, they'll be buoyed by the fact that they had a good win at Salford, 48-12. And Hull, and that man in your screen, what a big night it is for him. Scott Gale, he knows that he's up against one of the up-and-coming stars, Julian O'Neill. That really will be a great clash at the standoff position.
Big Paul Moriarty in the second row, the Welshman for Widnes. If I remember rightly, didn't last long. Last time we saw Widnes on Sky Sports was taken off with a cut eye, and presumably that's why the plaster is there as protective padding above the right eyebrow. Julian O'Neill will be heading back from the wind and rain of Great Britain to the sunshine of Brisbane come the end of this month. Had a stint here after the Broncos took part in the World Club Challenge at Wigan. So it's Hull against Widnes then. Bit of a glue pot of a pitch, the academy match that you will be able to see on Sky Sports next Sunday. A real cracker between Hull and Wigan, and that's cut the surface up a bit, but it's all played above the surface, and no doubt we shall see the skills of these two fine sides on show here tonight. Here's Moriarty. Russ Walker and Rob Nolan bring him down. Paul Hume is the dummy half. Harvey Howard takes it over, driving his way over halfway. And penalty to Widnes.
Second row, Rob Wilson and the hooker Jackson involved there. Silly penalty to give away so early. You mentioned, Eddie, it's like a glue pot in the middle there. Widnes love to use their big back three. Big second rowers running out wide. I expect to see a lot of them being used in the opening 15 minutes.
So another set of 6 then for Widnes. This is Essenay for Milo. Hull have yet to have the ball in their hands. Moriarty driving it on. Paul Hume the dummy half. Goulding on the dummy run. This is Richie Ayres. Widnes now 10 metres from the Hull posts. Goulding and O'Neill. Still going is O'Neill, but I think the referee has spotted a Shepherd there.
Well, O'Neill throws the dummy. And there's interference there. Well, I don't really know that he could class that as using a man as a shepherd. Totally confused me. My co-commentator, Mr. Hemmings, looks puzzled also.
There's nothing terribly unusual in that. Hull then in possession, and it's Scott Gale feeling the heavy challenge from Coloto. Lee Jackson. Richard Gay has joined the line, the Hull fullback. Henjack now, and John Sharp was the runner. Russ Walker.
Despite it being heavy, the Hull side love to go down the middle. They're a big pack of forwards.
That's a good kick downfield from Henjack. From Scotty Gale, rather.
Kicking game so vital in this modern day. Good kick by the Australian. But he knows he's got a handful against the fellow Australian, Julian O'Neill. I really think that is going to be the key between winning and losing on either side.
Adrian Hadley, substitute on Wednesday, scored against Salford. And this Bobby Goulding. Paul Hume is the dummy half. Richie Ayres is the first runner and loses it. Good challenge there from Lee Jackson.
That just shows you the importance of the second marker. Jackson getting away like a greyhound, applying the pressure to the unusual loose forward. No one plays in the second row, Richard Ayres.
So Henjack feeds the scrum, gets it out, finds Gale, and he finds Rob Nolan. An interference as Nolan tried to get to his feet. O'Neill and David Hume involved.
Well, you can see David Hume just grabbed the ankle. Nolan took full advantage of it. They're pretty good in the academy stakes, and I don't mean the juniors. I mean the Hollywood style.
Eastwood with the penalty then. Doesn't make too much territory. But Hull trying to continue the momentum of this attack with Dannett. And now with Sharp. Henjack, neat little step, fooled Moriarty, but two Widnes players there to snuff the danger out.
Well, they weren't the blindside move there. Henjack was looking for the second run and it just wasn't there.
That's Rob Wilson disappearing under the attention of those three. Henjack takes it over now. And Harvey Howard, a little rough as he brought Richard Gay to ground. Dannett. That's the last tackle. Hull camped right in front of the Widnes post. They'll move it left. Gale with the little chip ahead. Oh, and it just beat everybody, but that was good thinking, and Rod Nolan so close.
Excellent ball out wide, and Gale just put his foot to the ball. Rob Nolan just inches away. Stuart Spruce was just caught then, just for the split second. Excellent tactics by Scott Gale.
Vital match for Widnes this. They're not out of trouble yet, just 6 points above Lee at the bottom of the table, and of course the way things stand at the moment, 2 to go down to Division 2. Almost unthinkable that a club like Widnes could find themselves in the second division, but who knows?
Well, they've got a few problems off the pitch, haven't they? Financial problems indeed, but they're fully aware that these 2 points today are extremely vital.
Coloto had to wait a long time before getting his chance. A loan spell to Halifax. Started his first game at Salford, and here he is again today, the big Kiwi second rower. Richard Gay now, powerless to stop 2 of the Wigan tries last Saturday, but took the champions through to the Regal Trophy final. Russ Walker, that's good chasing, good harrying by Andy Currier. And again, well, Currier's getting stuck in.
Well, that's 3 on the trot for the centre. He's wound up.
Moriarty, Hull making no ground advantage here at all. Wilson was hauled down. Now they might with Walker. Gets a good ball in field to Sharp. Sharp looking for support. It's arrived from Eastwood. Eastwood's quick, but so is Hadley. Great play from Eastwood, though. Here's the Jackson going, and Rob Nolan was the right man in the right spot at the right time.
Stone's bit of championship replay. What tremendous play. Walker got the ball to Sharp. Sharp really showed a lot of pace. Pulls away, takes in Goulding, but gets the ball away. Eastwood has come inside. Good thinking by the winger. And the support play by Rob Nolan. He did the right thing. He just changed the direction. That was enough to send Stuart Spruce the wrong way. Beautiful support play. You can see how the defence is moving up and then it switches back inside. There's a huge gap. It's too late. They realise that the gap is there. Sharp does it all well. He holds off Goulding. Good play by Eastwood. Coming inside. Support play. You see how he steps then. Excellent play by the centre, Rob Nolan. Just enough to send Stuart Spruce away to the right. Left him the gap. Great try.
The former scrum half now turned centre, and the man who gave him his chance was Brian Smith in the centre. Brian Smith, of course, now 12,000 miles away from the Boulevard at the St George Club in Sydney. But a great try and a great start for Hull here at the Boulevard. And Paul Eastwood, the man with 13 international caps to his credit, who takes an eternity over the goal-kicking duties, making sure that absolutely everything is perfect. It's a tricky surface, but as you saw, he has 61 goals to his credit already this season, and the ball's fallen over, which means there's an even more large delay. Referee Smith holds the clock up, calls time off. So the man who's running over 100 tries for Hull, a try and 2 goals in this fixture last season, a 1990 and 1992 British Lion, Paul Eastwood. The ball's fallen over again. We need a chapter of a book, I think, to fill in the time while Paul Eastwood...
It's quite a strong wind that's blowing into the faces of the Hull side. That's why I wonder, Eddie, in regards to Widnes coach Phil Larder, when they will bring on Jonathan Davis. Quite a strong advantage with the wind in their favour in this first half for Widnes.
Well, Lee Jackson holding the tip of the ball. It's not the best preparation for a goal kicker, but here he comes, Eastwood. And, well, from almost right in front, he made no mistakes in the end. 6-0, Hull ahead.
This is the real advantage of forwards running at an angle. Walker runs at the angle, but then takes the pass on the inside. And you'll see that you pull the player away. Widnes leaves the gap. Excellent stuff. Beautiful play by Hull, but good thinking by Eastwood.
So Widnes restart. They're trailing by 6 points to 0. Just over 10 minutes of this match gone. Good start from the early birds. Lovely attack from them. This now is Chico Jackson. And his namesake Lee in at dummy half.
Lovely to see the forwards, Eddie, when they run at the angle. That creates just the half chance. That extra yard that can just make the defence open up.
Andy Dannett, big, strong prop forward. These conditions ideal for him, I would venture to suggest. Gale with the kick over the top. Hadley picks up 10 metres from his own line. Tries to run straight through try-scorer Rob Nolan.
Good kick and chase there. There was 5 Hull players. Just shoved Adrian Hadley right into the corner. Nowhere to get out.
Here comes Moriarty. This now is Coloto. Richie Ayres. Great Britain and England international, Richie Ayres. Bobby Goulding, another international. Plenty of stars on show here today. and Richard Gay.
Oh, good play by Goulding there.
Yes, Donkin had nowhere to go. This is Walker. Good marker play from the little scrum half. This now Jackson, Chico Jackson. Grounded by Caloto. And Andy Dannett. That's the last one for Hull. Oh, that was a risky pass, but Gale made the most of it, but only found Adrian Hadley. Caloto sporting a beard these days. Stuart Spruce. Good ball from Spruce to Courier. He helps it wide to Devereux. Now Devereux scored 4 tries in this fixture last season, but that's a great saving tackle from Scott Gale. Just tapped his ankles, the Welshman brought to ground.
Excellent play. Spruce linking up from the back, getting Courier away. Beautiful football.
Julian O'Neill just plays the ball legally. It's now Richie Ayres. Widnes have noticeably picked up the pace, and the touch judge on that far side has seen something. He's on, as you can see.
Well, Richie Ayres was involved there with Scott Gale. He's trying to get up and play the ball, and there you can see he lashes out with his left boot. Scott Gale gets the imprint on the cheek. Something to remember this game by. Look, ref. Wasn't the ref that saw it. It was the eagle eye of the touch judge. Well done. You can do without that sort of thing.
Just caught him below the eye, fortunately. No damage done. But a penalty to Hull. So Hull will start again after that Paul Eastwood penalty. And here they come now with Donkin. Good run from the winger, cutting infield from the touchline. Now here's Anthony Jackson.
Well, Hull quite content to still use these big forwards. Not once have we seen a run from the hooker Lee Jackson.
We might see a run from John Sharp now. We would have seen a run from Richard Gay if he could have kept hold of that ball to knock on.
Nice effort there by Sharp, and really Gay didn't get his hand to it. It came off a Widnes player. The Widnes boot got in there, kicked the ball away, otherwise the fullback Richard Gay would have been well away.
They're looking inventive though, Hull, aren't they? They've started the brighter of the two sides. They have that 6-point advantage, 6-0.
Well, they're using these big strong forwards down the middle. They're sucking in the Widnes defence, and then the link is working very good. Henjack and Gale getting it out wide.
This is Courier. Strength from Courier. Confirmation of the score after a quarter of an hour. And a little knock on. The touch judge spotted it. And Andy Courier can't believe it.
Well, he loses it. You see he's trying to wriggle clear. Now, was the prop forward, Andy Dannett, involved in that? A little bit of a nudge with the head on the football. Courier not too impressed.
Henjack on the run around. Oh, great tackle from Courier. Stopped Nolan dead in his tracks, and it was Gary Nolan. This now is Richard Gay. Henjack, they continue to move on. There's Gary Nolan once more. And the possession is interesting, isn't it? 61% to Hull, 39 to Widnes after the first quarter hour of this match. Well, they've put the possession to good use too. They lead 6-0. They're looking for more here with Jackson.
Good thinking by the hooker there. That's the first time he's run from dummy half. You noticed that the Widnes defence had not moved up. They were still on their way back. Nice little chip over into empty space.
You mentioned the tactics, Mike, that Hull are employing. Not really seeing too many runs from Lee Jackson. They're coached by an Australian. Is it fair to say that these are typical Australian tactics that Hull are using?
Well, very safety first, isn't it? Let's try to soften them up, try to suck them in. And if the defence comes in that extra yard, the good link will always catch them out wide.
This is Caloto. He rode that challenge from Lee Jackson, and they've released Adrian Hadley, and Hadley is no slouch, but that was not the best pass in the world. Over the top looking for Hume. Anthony Jackson picks it up and gives it to Richard Gay. Suddenly the pendulum swings Hull's way, and it's a good job that Devereux and Moriarty were there. But Hull on the charge again with Gale. Scott Gale, great try from the Aussie. Widnes caught napping, and quick thinking from Scott Gale. His 6th try of the season. One of the stars of the 80s down under, the star of the 90s here at the Boulevard.
Stone's bit of championship replay will show where they lost the ball. The second rower, Anthony Jackson, did the right thing, passed inside. He loves to link into the three-quarter line as this guy, Richard Gay. And it's a quick play of the ball. Watch this. You can see that the Widnes defence is still on the backward step. He throws the dummy. Moriarty had his back to him. Oh, that's a great opportunist try. There you can see it. There's just no one there, is there? They were all at sea. It was after the big tackle from Paul Moriarty involved. He was slow to get back. So were the rest of his teammates. And that man took full advantage. Great try.
Second this week, a try against Wakefield on Wednesday for Scott Gale. North's Balmain and Canberra star. And, well, it might be safety first, the tactics that Roy Simmons employs here early on, but it has done the trick against Widnes. It's 10-0, and this conversion will make it the round dozen. Eastwood again taking his time. Remember that wonderful night in Melbourne? The Australians really got stuck into him because of this delaying tactic that they claim. But Eastwood, well, he doesn't listen to anything of that. He just plants the ball over the top of the crossbar, and Hull have a 12-point lead against Widnes. Hull 12, Widnes 0. So just the start that Hull would require here at the Boulevard. They lead by 12 points to 0. That's Scott Gale. Try. Really, Widnes caught napping in defence, and that is something that Phil Larder, the Widnes coach, will not be happy about.
And rightly so, because it was a great run by Adrian Hadley that actually split the whole defence, and that's a high one. I think a few words will be spoken by the referee, Jim Smith. Concedes the prop forward, Harvey Howard, swinging the right arm. Well, I said he'd have a few words. Different angle. Still feels the same.
He wound up for it, didn't he?
The pain is the same. And that's not what the Widnes coach, Phil Larder, wants when you're 2 tries down.
Harvey Howard, the prop forward, a former winger. Signed in March 1990. Penalised for that swinging arm. Eastwood with the penalty. And deposits the ball on the roof of the stand on that far side.
Just getting back to that, the point about Adrian Hadley had made that break. And because he'd lost the ball, it was a bad pass. Widnes was so slow getting back. No point in just shaking your head. You've got to get back and defend.
Henjack and Gary Nolan this time spills the ball.
Well, the idea was there, as I mentioned before, trying to get this ball out wide, but really Gary Nolan more intent at looking at the defenders coming at him.
21 minutes gone then. Hull 12, Widnes 0 at the Boulevard. David Hume gets the ball away to Andy Currier. Devereux screaming for the ball out there. And gets the ball over the shoulder to Julian O'Neill.
Good play and good defence. Lovely pass from David Hume there to send Currier away.
Richiers now for Widnes, stepping through the challenges. Thought better of releasing the pass to John Devereux. Here's O'Neill again. Coloto takes it over. Pitch very heavy underfoot. Goulding, O'Neill. Good break from David Hume through one challenge, but not the best pass in the world. But Milo is there to pick up the pieces. Springboard Widnes to another attack. Milo loses his footing and then loses the ball. Just surrendered the possession there to Donkin.
Oh, it's also important to make those mistakes. That's the third time now that Widnes have been in the whole half and made a real mess of things. They can't expect to win a game when they do things like that, especially so early in the tackle.
Lee Jackson holding the knee. Injured in this incident here.
You can see him being twisted over there by the big second rower Moriarty and Harvey Howard going on top of him. You get two big guys like that coming over the top. Put them both together. The result, a little bit of pain.
And he's feeling it too. Lee Jackson really did force his way back into the international scene on that 1990 tour. He made his 11th appearance for his country against New Zealand. Had to play second fiddle for a long time to Martin Dermott, but forced his way back into the reckoning. Certainly one of the best hookers in the British game. Lee Jackson recovered.
Without a doubt, Eddie. Very good player.
Strong tackle from Moriarty on Dannett. Dannett just lost the football. Knock on.
Look at the strength here to bring a prop forward down like that. The ball just bounced away. That's great tackling by Moriarty.
Goulding feeds and gets possession, finds Stuart Spruce. Julian O'Neill directing the traffic, dancing away from one challenge, but couldn't get away from the attentions of those two. Here's Goulding. Widnes all lined up here. The runner was Richie Ayres. Team tackles, Widnes obviously having to do a lot more because they are lagging in the possession department. Ayres again brushes off one.
Getting through a lot of work, the loose forward Richard Ayres.
The last one, Goulding. Good tackling, good defence from Hull. Harvey Howard steaming through. So the ball turned over.
Good combination there of Nolan and Walker really pile driving in there.
John Sharp, Courier and Milo ground him. Lee Jackson fully recovered from that knee problem. Here's Chico Jackson.
Obviously a bit of a ploy, Eddie, with the hooker Jackson. He still hasn't done a real skirt from the dummy half position. But I reckon that he'll start doing that later on in this half. He's trying to lull the Widnes defence into thinking that he's just going to be a distributor from that dummy half position.
That attempted clearance from Scott Gale came off the backside of Paul Moriarty. Moriarty reacted quicker, and David Hume now takes it on for Widnes. Chance here for them with Goulding. Bobby Goulding, still going Goulding, looking for support. Hadley's there. Still Hadley. Again, good defence from Hull, but this is a real chance for Widnes now. 5 metres short of the line. Paul Hume, was it a knock-on? No. O'Neill carries it on. Ayres is there. The gap's opened up for Ayres. He gets it down. Was it double? Well, the referee said he was, I think, that he was certainly not scoring a try, and Hull have got the possession back.
What a great tackle by Ivan Henjak on the loose forward Richard Ayres. But what was Ayres thinking of? There was no way in the world he could have got a try from that. His progress was stopped.
So a big chance for Widnes gone. This is the last tackle, so the kick downfield. And Devereux picks it up for Widnes. Henjak again. Hadley. Still going, Hadley. Doing well, the Welshman, making little half breaks. Oh, that looked forward from Paul Hume for Milo. Goulding. Harvey Howard. Half break again, but Hull. Russ Walker doing well in the tackling. Here come Widnes again with Hume, and that ball was just palmed down by Lee Jackson.
Pretty well there, Jackson. You could see he knew that the ball was going to come back in the inside. David Hume was shouting and the forward to come through. Jackson picked it well. Just couldn't grasp it. The knock on. Widnes will have 6 more.
Penalty at the scrum to Widnes. It was offside against all the Hull three-quarters who'd moved up too quick.
Well, you can see that the back three have broken away from the scrum before the ball was clear.
So Widnes trailing by 12 points to 0.
Vital they get on the scoreboard very quickly. They really haven't respected possession. Widnes losing the ball early, and that was a big crunch tackle. He felt that. I thought that ball was lost.
And referee Jim Smith calling for the Widnes trainer to come on, and it's Rob Wilson with the big tackle here. Well, shoulder to shoulder. And it's Harvey Howard, isn't it, who felt the full weight of that one.
My word, that ball just drops out. Oh, that's like an Exocet missile coming at you. Not surprisingly, loses control.
Receiving treatment, Harvey Howard, so play just moves to the left a little and carries on with Moriarty. Gritting his teeth, Moriarty, but brought down by Lee Jackson. Paul Hume now, Goulding, and Julian O'Neill. Well, that was a shepherd, that was obstruction. O'Neill used Emosi Kaloto as a shield then.
Oh, you can see quite easy there. Kaloto, O'Neill looks at the big Kiwi and said, I've made a huge mistake. And once again, the mistakes from Widnes. They're not having any chance to get into any momentum, into the swing of things. They have to respect this possession, at least play out their 6.
One thing you can say about Julian O'Neill is the fact that while he's been in England anyway, his hair has grown. Remember the haircuts that all the Broncos had when they won the grand final? They all had their numbers from grand final day imprinted in the back of their heads. O'Neill looked like a convict when he arrived here, but now the locks have returned.
He was lucky he only had number 1 on his head.
Here's Lee Jackson again. Oh, and it was a forward pass, but Rob Nolan was steaming up on the inside there.
Jackson trying to get this ball away. 50-50 one there, but good refereeing by Jim Smith. He was right in line with that.
Half an hour of this game gone then, and Hull still with those 2 tries and 2 conversions, 12 points. But Andy Currier in possession, and he finds Hadley. 3-man tackle on Adrian Hadley. The Welshman finished off by Lee Jackson. Paul Hume will run on his own from dummy half. He's lost his gum shield there in that. And now it's O'Neill. Really nowhere for O'Neill to go, nowhere for him to pass, and he's keeping the legs pumping away.
Well, Widnes appear to me to be just setting up for moves far too often, trying to be too fancy, and not really doing the hard work like this guy. They've got to build a platform, get some graft in the forwards, and then go do something pretty.
O'Neill to one of the big forwards, Kaloto. He went to give it to Moriarty and elected to go on his own, and then loses the ball again. That's been Widnes' problem in this first half. They've coughed the ball up far too many times.
Time and time again, but you could quite see there that was Jackson's right arm that came over, knocked the ball down. Pretty difficult for the referee to see that. One of the problems, Eddie, that we have with this rule about pinching the ball. What about when you punch it out like that?
I think all of those 6 handling errors have come in the Hull half of the field in this first half hour.
But it really does look like to me, Eddie, that the Widnes side are trying to be far too fancy and pretty, and no one wants to really do all the hard work.
Hull are preparing to bring Mike Dixon, their substitute, on as Henjak dabs the ball downfield, only finds Hadley, and it's the prop forward Russ Walker who will go off when Mike Dixon, the 21-year-old hooker, comes on. This is Goulding, and now for Milo, takes it over.
That's better from the forwards. They need another one now. Try to suck in this whole defence.
Richie Ayres. Roy Simmons has moved down from the crow's nest that they have built here at the Boulevard and is now watching from the touchline. The Australian coaches normally like to be upstairs, but Roy Simmons watching English style and watching as Bobby Goulding drives the ball on to within 10 metres of the Hull line. David Hume carries the attack forward.
Oh, great play by Goulding there, stepped his way through.
This is Devereux, back to Moriarty. He helps it to Paul Hume. Hume will just cypher it forward, but straight at Russ Walker.
Pretty nonchalant there, wasn't he, the prop forward? Just stooped down, picked it up, brushed them away, and carried on running.
Paul Eastwood almost away, but Julian O'Neill bringing him down. Here's John Sharp. And now Dannett. Hull getting themselves up towards halfway. Kicking on the fourth tackle through Gale. Hadley again will run it back. It won't make too much progress. Good tackling that by Rob Nolan. Eastwood hacks the ball forward as Widnes tried to play that ball, and then Spruce lost his footing, and Hull have gained about, what, 15 metres.
Good tactics by Hull, kicking on the early in the tackle count. They know that Widnes are going through the hollows with the handling. Push the ball into the corner. It's pretty muddy out there, anything can happen.
Andy Currier for Widnes, trailing 12 points to 0. Hull built a nice little lead in this first half. That's the last one for Widnes. They're still in their own half. Back with Moriarty. Good kick from the second row of that. Well picked up by Donkin.
Good kick and better chase there by Widnes.
Confirmation of the score, 12-0. Hull ahead, 5 minutes of this first half remaining. Anthony Jackson releases the pass to Paul Eastwood. Eastwood goes almost through Goulding. A flying tackle from Bobby Goulding, and he grounded Paul Eastwood with it.
And it had to be a great tackle because Eastwood was just stepping off the left foot. Just ankle tapped him.
Not the best pass from John Sharp. Referee Jim Smith is content that the ball went back towards the Hull posts and was not a knock-on. This is Rob Nolan. Henjak and Gale again. Those two controlling it. That's not a bad kick. It held up in the mud, and Spruce had to be quick. But he wasn't quick enough. He couldn't get away from Gary Nolan, and Gale, who'd moved up to chase his own kick.
You'll notice also, Eddie, that Hull, that man in your screen, Scott Gale, he's only kicking to Adrian Hadley. They're not once kicking it down to John Devereux's throat. They know the skill of Devereux is big and strong. No slight on Adrian Hadley, of course. And that seems to be the tactics.
Hume brings Devereux into the play now.
All right, up for the wide, get up and play.
Now Goulding. And O'Neill. Richie Ayres is there. The poor pass. But Goulding is able to pick it up. It's the last one now for Widnes. O'Neill aims the kick to the corner, and it just finds touch, just rolls enough on one of the few grassed areas here at the Boulevard today.
Intelligent thinking there by the Australian. He'd be disappointed just a few seconds before then. He'd made the angle cross and turned the ball back inside, and 3 Widnes players ran past the ball. They're the chances that they've got to take, Eddie, and they're not taking them, are they?
They're not yet. Hull are making their substitution. Mike Dixon coming on, and Russ Walker coming off. Good stint done by the big prop forward, taking a breather. Roy Simmons just mixing it. And here is Dixon, his first touch. A swinging arm from Richie Ayres. Oohs and ahs from the crowd. Hull always looking the more likely, aren't they, at the moment, in this first half?
Well, they're making the grounds in the forwards, aren't they? A lot more effort. Really getting in the swing of it. Widnes defence is at 6s and 7s, I'm afraid.
John Sharp carrying the battle over the halfway line on the last tackle. Gale again. They always look for Gale to do the kicking. And again, he angles it towards this left-hand touchline, and once again it's Hadley who collects it. Good opening half this by Hull. Their only championship in 1983. And after a couple of years of ups and downs in the second division, they haven't been out of the top flight now for 13 seasons. Hadley for Widnes, trying to get through Eastwood.
He's had plenty of work, hasn't he, this winger, Adrian Hadley.
Harvey Howard unloads well in the tackle, finds Bobby Goulding scampering forward. That's got to be a forward pass from Goulding to Devereaux. The referee has let it go. Devereaux off down the touchline, cutting in field. Good tackling in the end there from Richard Gay, the fullback. He wouldn't be brushed off.
Well, that's the reason why Hull are not kicking to that wing.
Richie Ayres now for Widnes. Looking to offload as he fell, but couldn't do so. Clung on. Goulding, whose pass, I must say, to Devereaux looked forward, but trying a little bit of ingenuity on his own that didn't quite come off for him. Would have been a real inquest had Devereaux shot over for a try there from that pass.
Certainly looked a shade forward, but excellent play by the winger Devereaux. The Welshman really got into his step.
So coming towards the end of this first half, we're now in stoppage time. There'll be a little bit of that. Hull 12, Widnes 0. 2 tries under the sticks for Hull. And Mike Dixon, their substitute. That too looked forward to me. This is Lee Jackson. And now the centre, Rob Nolan.
Good charge down there. And that's got to be a penalty. Sharp interfering. Moriarty not having any chance there. This perhaps could be the chance that Widnes have been looking for. There you can see it was Sharp who pushed Moriarty away from that football. Quite clearly on here. Get out of my way.
So in stoppage time then in this first half, Harvey Howard. What would Widnes give for a try in the dying seconds of this first 40 minutes? Goulding for Milo. Good run from Milo. O'Neill was hunting for the pass on the inside. Goulding changing the direction of this attack. Moriarty standing in the tackle. Referee says he was held. David Hume, Coloto, and David Hume again.
Well, they're still doing this fancy footwork and run rounds, but there's just no runners.
O'Neill. Long pass to Hadley. It was too far in front of the Welshman. Hadley couldn't hang on to that.
Well, another mistake. The long ball. He was forced to do that. The whole defence had moved up quickly. But really, Widnes, they'll have to go back to basics. I'm sure their coach, Phil Larder, will have plenty to say at the half-time break. As they really have not put it together. The game plan has gone out of the window.
Really, I suppose they'll count themselves fortunate they're only 12 points adrift, Mike. 2 tries, second half, they're right back in it.
Certainly, and the amazing thing about it is that if Widnes would have taken perhaps the 3 chances that have come their way, it could actually have been in front, even though Hull have had most of the possession this half.
Mike Dixon. And here's Andy Dannett. Shirt outside the shorts. There is the half-time siren. Hull have made it to the break with their line intact. Scott Gale with the second of their 2 tries. The first one coming from Rob Nolan. And Eastwood added 2 very easy conversions from almost right in front. So half-time, Widnes have it all to do. Hull with a 12-point advantage. Hull 12, Widnes 0. From 2 shots, Widnes really have it all to do in this second 40 minutes. Match facts, possession, as you can see at the bottom there, absolutely level between the 2 sides. Nothing much elsewhere either. Team tackling, scrums going Widnes' way, penalties Hull's way, and Widnes have made 7 handling errors to Hull's 4. Well, the talking has stopped in the dressing rooms. The players back out on the field. Bobby Goulding gets this second half underway. It's Hull against Widnes. The men from the Boulevard ahead by those 12 points they rattled up in the first half. And what do you think Phil Larder will have said to his Widnes side, Mike? Because, let's be fair, it's been a pretty poor show for them so far.
He would have said that possession is vital and also that they've got to start lifting their game. Really have got to get back into the basic principles of defence and attack. They really haven't made the yardage that they need to build upon to get their 3 quarters going.
Jonathan Davis on the bench. The plan was he would be introduced after about 20 minutes. Well, we've had the full first half and we have yet to see the appearance of the Welsh international captain.
Well, that surprises me. I thought there'd be a change at the half-time break. To me, Jonathan Davis is a tremendous number 6, has a stepping ability, and in my book, the Australian Julian O'Neill really hasn't put the pressure on that I expected.
Davis with the tracksuit on, all buttoned up, no signs that he's coming on yet. And for Hull, well, 12-0. The tactics works in the first half. I suppose Roy Simmons would have said more of the same, please.
My word, he would have been pretty happy with it, especially with the kicking game. Scott Gale really has forced them back. You can tell with that first couple of rushes from Widnes that they want to use their forwards a little bit more enthusiastically. They're making a little bit more ground now.
And it's Richie Ayres, but once again the ball is spilled. Yet another handling error. Richie Ayres on the drive and couldn't control the ball as he was tackled.
That's one of the major reasons why I was never interested in becoming a coach. I like to sleep at nights.
That's Rob Wilson taking play up to the halfway line. Roy Simmons watching from the touchline again in this second half. Dannett and Moriarty meet head on. Lee Jackson. Now Ivan Henjak. John Sharp was the runner. And he released the pass to John Sharp looking for Gary Nolan and instead only found a Widnes man.
Well, the coach Phil Larder won't believe this. Andy Courier gets the ball, it pops up. And what happens? He tries to get a pass away like that. It was going to ground. John Devereux had no chance whatsoever. Another mistake. Coach's nightmare.
Hull then on the attack once more. Richard Gay gets away from Courier first time, but can't get away from Spruce and Courier second time. Lee Jackson, and now Chico Jackson and Ivan Henjak. Hull in the Widnes quarter with Dannett. Good play from Dannett. This is a great run from Gale. He's after his second.
Widnes are just hanging back. They're allowing Hull to do what they want.
It's the last tackle. That's how close Hull are. They're right in front of the Widnes sticks. And they're trying to conjure something up here with Richard Gay. Good pass from him. But this time the Widnes defence stands firm. Rob Wilson thought that his moment had come. And had to play the ball once again. Hull hack it towards the in-goal area, and Stuart Spruce was first to react. Well, everything's going wrong for Widnes at the moment. They're being caught in possession, they're dropping the ball, and even if they play the ball, they're losing it.
Well, Rob Wilson just there, the ball was on the ground, is allowed to kick forward. Jonathan Davies warming up. And boy, oh boy, do Widnes need him badly. The magic of Davies is needed out there quickly.
Be interesting to see where he comes on. For Milo, ball tucked under his arm, on the knees, and managed to release Goulding. Goulding scampering forward, over the shoulder for O'Neill, but it was well read by Gary Nolan. He simply pinched it from the Australian's fingertips, and here he goes on a run himself.
Well, it's all action, side to side. Phil Larder, you can see, not too impressed, and rightly so. But what a great cover tackle by Ivan Henjak. He's over the 30 mark, he's the veteran, and he had enough pace to drag Goulding down.
John Sharp, brought to ground by Paul Hume. 5 minutes of this second half gone, still 12-0, as you were at half-time. Gale finds Nolan, that's Gary. Donkin is the acting halfback. Henjak to Dannett. Dannett runs at the Widnes defence. Jackson is hauled down round by the collar by Moriarty. It wasn't by the collar, says referee Jim Smith. It's penalty to Hull.
Well, that looked okay to me. I honestly thought that he had the shoulder first. See it a little bit but clearly there. Oh, that was a flat of the hand on the shoulder in my book.
And he pulled out Anthony Jackson and had a word with him. And he gave the penalty in Widnes' direction, obviously for something that went on off the ball.
And Jackson is out. He's out cold, is Jackson. He collided. I think it was a stray elbow from his opposite number, Paul Hume. He went down very quickly.
This is the incident.
Oh, that's the elbow there. The pain. Hume was trying to avoid the tackle and the left elbow came up. Let's hope he's okay. That was a nasty clash.
Well, his eyes are closed. He's unconscious, I think. He certainly felt this. Here it is again.
Oh, that really was. I think that's right in the Adam's apple. Oh, right on the windpipe. Reaction from his opposite number, Paul Hume, the Widnes skipper, trying to avoid the tackle, brought that left arm up very quickly, and Jackson went straight into it.
Well, he's taking some time to recover from that. He's obviously very, very groggy indeed, is Lee Jackson, the Hull hooker.
He doesn't know where he is, does he, Eddie?
He doesn't. The signal's gone out to the bench. And we're going to have Danny Dive coming on, the Frenchman with the Australian accent. He played in the A-team on Friday night. Roy Simmons told me he went very well indeed, and he offered him a month's trial. And here he is, Danny Dive, who almost joined Hull Kingston Rovers not too long ago, after an international appearance in Great Britain for the French. But Jackson is carried off the field, and Dive comes on.
That's unfortunate for Hull. Key link in their attacking movements is Jackson.
Well, Mike Dixon will doubtless go to the hooking position for Hull now. It'll be interesting to see how Danny Dive goes. Plays for the Carcassonne club. And the referee right on the spot. And he's Widnes here for this.
Well, I can't understand Moriarty. He just lost his cool there. He didn't use the fist. It's a flat of the hand.
Rob Wilson feeling the effects of the Moriarty wrath.
Upset over a few things is Moriarty.
Jackson has got concussion, we hear, Mike, so let's hope it's nothing more serious than that. But that was a silly thing for Moriarty to do, despite whatever provocation was going on there, because he's gifted Eastwood the chance of this extra 2 points.
Yes, it takes Hull further away if he's successful with this one. Irrespective of what happens in a tackle, you can guarantee it's the man who retaliates that will be seen by the referee and the crowd, of course. The Boulevard crowd very quick to raise their voices when the swinging right arm of the world second row Paul Moriarty came into action.
So Eastwood with this penalty, and as you watch this, Widnes are preparing to bring Jonathan Davis on. Information from the bench is he will replace David Hume in the centre. Eastwood taking the usual eternity for this penalty. He's successful with it. 2 points more for Hull. It's 14-0. It's getting worse for Widnes. And there's no sign yet of Jonathan Davis. I think he's still on the bench. Yes, he's still all buttoned up, but the word has gone out apparently from the coaches. And he must have heard our commentary. Davis is about to be introduced for David Hume.
Well, it's a throw the dice by the Widnes coach Phil Larder. Looks like both of them have come on. You can't be too impressed with their performance. The Widnes outfit really have squandered possession, silly mistakes, silly penalties. Not the sign of a very good professional outfit.
So 10 minutes or a little bit more of this second half gone. Hull 14, Widnes 0.
I just get the impression, Eddie, that the referee Jim Smith will have to keep a pretty close eye on all this. There's quite a few players out there beginning to lose their rag.
The two substitutes warming up for Widnes as Chico Jackson takes the play up. It's Davis on the left and Steve McCurry on the right. Mistake, meanwhile, from Mike Dixon.
Tried to do the run from dummy half. See, he picks a ball up there, never really had full control. Like a piece of soap. Very slippy, especially in the middle there. Quite a muddy day.
Well, Widnes wanted to bring their subs on, but the referee didn't see the touch judge on the far side. And notice the two numbers that have been held up. It's the Hume brothers who are coming off, David and Paul. There's Paul Hume now. Bobby Goulding and Moriarty. Shoulder to shoulder with Dannett.
Well, it gives you the indication of the coach's displeasure when you take off your captain, if that is the case.
Good tackling from Dive, and it was on Coloto, but this now is Paul Hume. Good defence, Sharp and Nolan. Goulding dabs the ball ahead, but that was going nowhere, and Goulding knows that that was a poor kick ahead.
Just isn't Widnes' day, is it?
They're going to make their substitutions now, surely. Jonathan Davis waiting to come on with Steve McCurry. Meanwhile, there is I think a Hull player in need of a bit of attention. There's a stoppage in play as the substitution eventually is made. So McCurry will go to hooker and Davis into the centres to replace the Hume brothers, those two. And Jonathan Davis, has he got the spark to inject into this Widnes side? The captain takes his place on the bench. It's pretty scrappy fair at the moment, to be truthful.
There's little doubt about it that Anthony Jackson had his eyes there on the big form of Emoso Kiloto coming at him. That's why he dropped the ball.
Goulding to O'Neill. Goulding on the run around. Richie Ayres. Davis is there, but Richie Ayres couldn't get the ball out to him. McCurry, the dummy half. Long pass out to the far side, but it, I'm afraid, from a Widnes point of view, touched Hull arm, and Eastwood picked up the pieces.
Well, it's Rob Nolan that got involved with it. The ball going backwards. A little bit of lady luck going to Hull. But full credit to Rob Nolan. He got involved there, but in between the player that was receiving that ball.
Now John Sharp, straight down the middle for Hull. 14 minutes of this second half gone. Hull ahead 14 points to nil. The only point of this second half so far, that penalty from Paul Eastwood. This is Gale. Long kick downfield. Again, and almost inevitably, it's Hadley who picks it up. Well, the possession statistic really does tell its own story, second half. Widnes really are struggling to get to grips with this match at the moment. Courier. Good tackling that. Courier doing all he can to milk the penalty, but I think the penalty's gone the other way.
He's got him for moving off the mark and not playing the ball as he should have. He was held there by Matt Duncan. There he is moving off the mark. He gets up again. Should have played the ball.
Quarter an hour gone. Hull ahead 14-0. Widnes won here 36-20 last April. It was their most emphatic win at the Boulevard since the war, and poor old Noel Cleal got the heave-ho in the week after that. He departed these shores back to Australia, eventually to be replaced by Roy Simmons. And it's Dive, the newcomer here. Dixon, the dummy half. This is John Sharp. Dixon on the runaround. But at the moment, Mike, Widnes miles away from a victory here, aren't they?
They just have not put it together at all. They're taking dummies, they're allowing Hull to control things. The whole pack has just been running straight all day.
And they're running straight now, trying a little set move. Kiloto and Familo bring the man in possession down. Nolan will dab one forward. Devereux is there, and he was clobbered immediately by Scott Gale, who moved up.
Copybook stuff there by Devereux. You saw him put his body between the onrushing players and the football. No chance of him spilling it there. For all you youngsters out there, that's the way to do it.
Julian O'Neill being carefully watched by those three. Goulding to Harvey Howard. That's better from Harvey Howard, and Davis was up in support, but was just ankle tapped. And I think it was Eastwood who got the vital touch on the Welshman. McCurry.
Well, McCurry's injected a little bit more enthusiasm into it, and that should be a penalty. John Sharp laying all over him. McCurry no chance of trying to get up and play the ball there. The rule states after the tackle, you must roll away, not roll all over the top, as Sharp is doing there. Is this going to be Widnes' chance?
Hadley would try and make it so, but this now is McCurry and Goulding and Harvey Howard. Howard, well, every time Widnes make a half break, Hull close the opportunities down. It's good defence from the Humbersiders. Now what can Widnes do with Spruce? Nothing is the answer. Good tackling again. Courier now. Was it a forward pass? Referee seems happy that it wasn't. McCurry from the acting half-back position trying to go on his own. That's the last one for Widnes in this set of 6. What can they conjure up here? Goulding chips one over the top looking for Devereux. And that's good defensive play from the winger Matthew Donkin. Donkin snuffs the danger out. 58 minutes gone. Hull 14, Widnes 0. So Hull will restart with a tap from their own 20-metre mark taken by Scott Gale. That was good defensive work there, Mike, from Donkin. Very alert, the youngster.
Yeah, it's good attacking play there also by Widnes. Nice little chip kick over. It was well planted by Goulding, but the winger was equal to the task. And that's the difference between the two sides. The enthusiasm of Hull, they really have made ground to play the ball.
Dive, big figure, second row forward he is. Gary Nolan, the dummy half. Henjack and Gale and Sharp. Last tackle for Hull. Not a bad kick, but it just goes the wrong side of the flag. Will it run dead? No, it won't. It's a great kick. Widnes trapped in the shape of Adrian Hadley. Couldn't get out of the dead in goal area.
Well, Hadley must be sick and tired of receiving this football. That's been the key all the night. Kick the ball down the field to that man in the wing position. Good kick, good chase.
So Widnes drop out from under their own sticks. Davis reaches halfway, but only finds John Sharp. Back come Hull again. Widnes must feel like King Canute at the moment. Dive once more. 14-0 and out of this match gone. Hull have 20 minutes to hang on. Widnes a quarter of the game to rescue the situation. They're not out of trouble yet, Widnes, in terms of relegation. And Hull aiming for a place in the top four. They were denied by Salford on Wednesday. They're in 6th before play started today. And they're in the box seat at the moment. 14-0 up and on the attack here. Dixon, Henjack, quick hands here, and Widnes could be in trouble. Scott Gale all the way. Try Scott Gale. Widnes were waiting for those quick hands. Widnes had closed the options down, they thought, up the middle. But Scott Gale delayed, and picked up his second try of the match.
Stone's bit of championship replay comes about by good work from the forwards. Gets the ball out wide, and a good dummy there by the Australian Scott Gale. Just gets there, good positioning by Jim Smith, the referee. Hard work has put them into this position. Henjack onto the link. Nice dummy. It was Andy Courier that took it. The defence laid off him, just enough for him to sneak over. Moriarty, Stuart Spruce, far too late. Well taken, good 4 points.
The Australian's second try of this match. In his second spell on Humberside is Scott Gale, having played here 1987-88 season. And he's here right the way through. It's a long-term contract, not one of the short-term deals that you normally associate with Aussies in this country, the likes that Julian O'Neill is on. Good performance from the Hull standoff. And now we have the eternity to wait again while Paul Eastwood prepares for the conversion.
Simple, basic football from Hull, though, really. They did well. They pushed the ball out onto the right-hand side. The forward did the graft. They built the platform. The ball out wide. Skill took its part. Widnes defence, not for the first time today. Failed to move up quick enough. Failed to slide out. Result, a try for Hull.
I think Eastwood's ready now. The boots are clean. And he's missed it after all that. It was first miss, but Hull 18, Widnes 0.
We see quite clearly that Scott Gale's got the ball. There's one of the Widnes players come up. But look where the Widnes defence is. The dummy comes away, the sliding defence doesn't take it. See you later, guys. And that's enough for him to squeeze over. Good try.
First time that Scott Gale has scored 2 tries in a match for Hull. Now Danny Dive again. And the instruction has gone out from Roy Simmons that his team, despite an 18-0 advantage, must not relax, must take the play up the other end of the field, as Eastwood is trying to do now, and go for the drop goals. Look for the one-pointers and stretch the advantage even further.
Goulding was hurt pretty badly there in that attempted tackle. Widnes down to 12 men in defence.
And Hull streaming forward with Gary Nolan. And the touch judge on with the flag. Seen something, Ayres and Moriarty in there. Perhaps they were the transgressors.
Well, we said he was getting a little bit excited, and there you can see it's only a short one from Moriarty. He's putting the elbow right in his face. Sometimes they just never learn. They forget that there's little guys on the sideline with a little flag. They're called touch judges.
And Bobby Goulding has received a bang in back play. It was in the tackle on Eastwood. There it is. And Goulding, well, he felt the full weight of Hadley, of Eastwood, and he has hobbled off, and it looks like it could be shoulder problems. The left arm is fairly limp.
Well, as if Widnes aren't in enough problems as it is, both on and off the field, to lose a player of that calibre. Let's hope it's only a slight injury and they'll be back for the next game, because they certainly need him.
Hull are looking for more points here to really turn it into a nightmare day for Widnes. Goulding off in the dressing room with a problem. 15 minutes to go. Hull 18, Widnes 0. And it's Hull who are driving forward with Russ Walker, who's back on. And are they going to have a go for that drop goal? They're right in front of those Widnes sticks with Henjak. Howard and Caloto stopped him. No, they're going to move it right. Or is Gale looking for a hat-trick? Ball's dabbed forward. That's good, brave defence, though. Stuart Spruce, I think.
Good play by the fullback, Stuart Spruce. He anticipated the kick would be coming from Scott Gale. It was a well-weighted kick, too. He knew he had to be there to prevent the try.
More pressure then from Hull. Again in the shape of John Sharp. David Hume, by the way, has returned for the injured Bobby Goulding. Henjak. It's a good little ball that was too to Wilson. There's David Hume back off the bench because Goulding's injured. So a defeat staring Widnes in the face here, and defeat at some price, as Rob Nolan tries to get away from the Widnes clutches.
Good tackle there by Richard Ayres. It had to be as well. Nolan had thrown the dummy. The half gap was appeared.
High, up and under. A tester here. Devereaux and Spruce. Spruce has missed it, but it's penalty to Widnes anyway.
No doubt about it. The fullback Richard Gay didn't make no attempt for it. You can see he just going over the top. Collided with Stuart Spruce. He took the man out. Just took the gamble, but the referee didn't see it. But he did.
David Hume misses out Moriarty, finds Caloto. Penalty count, 14 of them, 8 going to Hull. So Widnes can have no complaints about the referee crippling them in that particular department. Amazing that they can go to Salford on Wednesday, score 9 tries, and come here and produce form like this, Mike. It's not been, well, vintage is not the word that comes to mind as far as the Widnes display is concerned, but Hull, to be fair, they've done themselves proud here.
My word, they went out, they were eager to get this 2 points. Right from the start, they moved up quickly. They've never allowed Widnes to get into any sort of form. It's all about confidence these days. Interference there from Walker, or was it the prop forward, Andy Dennett? Dannett there, helped by Nolan, laying all over the man. Can Widnes get at least one try?
That was their 7th penalty of the match, and this is Devereux in possession for them. He's took a crack on the back of the head. He's lost the ball, and referee Jim Smith holds the clock up. Russ Walker can't believe that he has been pulled back there. He says that the ball came free.
Well, you'll see he collides with Rob Wilson's knee. Devereux was spinning round, and Wilson is coming in with a knee here. Now, is it accidental? Yeah, he just spun down so quickly and collided.
Well, the referee has given Widnes the penalty, and Richie Ayres is over in the corner. Quick penalty taken by Widnes. The whole crowd don't agree with the decision, but the referee had a word with his touch judge, gave Widnes the penalty, and as a result of that penalty, Ayres at last gets the scoring underway.
Stone's bit of championship replay will show that he got the switch out wide. The run around there, good play there by Hume. On with Julian O'Neill out to this guy. He certainly worked hard as Richard Ayres. He deserved that try. They'd just done the run around, and for once they came through the gap. They really did pour through there, didn't they? They caught the whole defence napping. They weren't expecting that, but well-deserved try there by the loose forward Ayres. He worked the run around. Hume goes around O'Neill. Look at the gap there. The whole defence had moved up far too quickly. Gary Nolan came into the gap. Half break was there. That was enough.
And that try from Richie Ayres, his 8th of the season, saves Widnes at least from being nilled for the first time since December 1989. Jonathan Davis, meanwhile, has the same problem with the conversion attempt, as Paul Eastwood has been suffering all afternoon. The strong wind, and he fails with the kick from the touchline. But Widnes on the scoreboard at last, 18-4. Cue the fight back, I wonder.
Well, stranger things have happened in rugby league, but I very much doubt it, the way that Widnes have been putting things together. But who knows? A quick try. Put them well and truly back in this game. They'll have to be pretty quick about it.
Yeah, 9 minutes to go. The gap, 14 points. 2 quick tries. We were almost ready to give Warrington away, weren't we, on Friday night, and they fought back.
Just goes to show what can happen in the game of rugby league. But that was well played by Richard Ayres. He deserved that. He's been one of the forwards on the Widnes side that has worked tirelessly.
Well, he's been the only one who's performed to anything like potential for me, Richie Ayres, today. Moriarty's dropped it again. Widnes, to use one of yours, Steve-O, are going through the horrors.
Yes, well, I normally say they've lost the plot, but to be quite fair, I don't think they had one to start with.
Dixon is the dummy half. John Sharp was the runner, grounded by Milo. Dixon's in there again. Decides to come this way this time with Gale, now with Rob Nolan. Dannett. It's the last tackle for Hull. Will they go for the one-pointer? Henjack is there. The runner coming in, received the ball. It was John Sharp, and Moriarty and Milo did the tackling. O'Neill.
Well, with such a good lead, they can afford to do that. Just run the risk, go through the repertoire of their moves, which they have done. The handover, yes, but they know that they've got Widnes camped in their own half. Take a big kick to try to get them back.
Big stint from Widnes in the tackling. Here's Richie Ayres, their try scorer. Hull ahead 18-4. Inside the final 10, and Widnes in possession with Coloto. Courier from dummy half. Fancies a little run at the defence here. Courier football style, but Gay with the knee stopped the danger and went on a good run himself.
Hard lines by Andy Courier there. That was a nice bit of play, chip over. He used the shoulder correctly. You're allowed to do that. Shoulder charge if you're both running in the same direction for the same football.
And suddenly Hull are starting to lose the plot as far as handling's concerned.
Well, Henjack was looking for the runaround there. All he found was Andy Dannett, the prop forward. You can see the look of disgust on little Australian Henjack's face.
David Hume from the base of the scrum finds Julian O'Neill. Now a little bit of magic from the Bronco, not this time. Well, Dixon was alert to the danger. This is Adrian Hadley. Handling errors make pretty poor reading for Widnes coach Phil Larder, 12-8. Spruce finds Hume. He finds Familo. Familo running straight, but good tackling again from Hull.
Been great tackling. They've scrambled back Hull all day. And some beautiful low tackles by their skipper, Ivan Henjack.
Last one for Widnes. You can bet they're going to run this with Davis. He'll hoist the up and under. He's chasing after it himself. Gay is underneath it. Safe as houses. Gay diffuses the bomb behind his own line. It's a tap from the 20-metre mark for Hull.
Not the best effort from Davis there. No pressure on the fullback Richard Gay. Could have made a cup of tea before he took that one.
Swinging arm from Harvey Howard was on the chest. This is Danny Debay. And he's grounded right on the halfway line. This is Mike Dixon now and Russ Walker. 5 minutes left for play. 18-4 the margin, 14 points. Hull within 5 minutes of winning money. A long way home for Widnes tonight if they lose here.
Good, strong, hard running by the whole pack again. It's been a feature of this game, and also this one, the kicking of Scott Gale. This man must be sick and tired of receiving it and trying to take it back, because the whole chasing game has been excellent.
David Hume to Devereux. Such a contrast for Devereux. This fixture last season in April, he scored 4 tries. He hasn't really had the sniff of one here today. David Hume. Caloto spills it. It's been the story of Widnes' day. Debay taking it up for Hull.
What a bone cruncher from Richard Ayres. Debay knows that he's back in England.
Here's Paul Eastwood. Yes, Debay is behind the play as you watch this. He's just trying to catch his breath. Here's Andy Dannett. Now Henjack and Gale, the Australian 1-2. Henjack's there again. Still going Ivan Henjack. The tackle was from David Hume. Hull are so close though. The ball dabbed forward, bounced off a Widnes knee. O'Neill has it. Touch judges on. Jim Smith holds the clock up while the discussion continues.
Well, you can see there in the background, just going out of the screen, someone was barreled. Andy Curry is the man that's being spoken to. He didn't miss him, that's for sure. Scott Gale that was doing the dumbing. There you see it in the background. Scott Gale got the marbles rolling around. There's the man that started the momentum.
So penalty against Widnes, right in front, and Paul Eastwood fancies getting the scoreboard up to the 20 mark. Great rivals, these two clubs over the years. 4 Premiership finals, 1982, 83, 89 and 91. The old 1976 John Player finalists. And the replayed Challenge Cup final, which Hull won in 1982. So they're old rivals down the years, these two. But it's going to be Hull's day today. 3 out of 4 for Eastwood. 2 minutes of the match remaining. Hull ahead 18-4. And this should make it 24, and does. Hull 20, Widnes 4. Comprehensive is a word that springs to mind, Mike. Widnes never in the hunt. Hull, a great display from them.
Excellent display. I'm sure their coach, Roy Simmons, will be very happy with this performance. They really have ground it out. May not have been the prettiest, but simple, basic football, getting on with the job at hand. The forwards working as a unit, and then the linking ability, Scott Gale, Ivan Henjak. And you throw into that sort of situation Scott Gale's kicking game. They really have worked to the plan, and the scoreboard shows that the plan has worked.
Yes, the word that springs to mind is workmanlike rather than extravagant and flashy.
Well, in these conditions, it's very heavy out there, and then they've worked hard at the forwards. Quick play of the ball. Widnes, unfortunately, they've paid the price of hanging off, not moving up quickly. They're not forcing them down into that corridor. And subsequently, there you can see the forwards are getting that momentum through before the Widnes defence is moving up.
As I say, long way home for Widnes tonight. Back across the M62. Oops. And Rob Wilson did not like that challenge from Julian O'Neill, and in best Humberside told the Australian exactly what he thought of it. Gale again, and this time a variation. Yes, Stuart Spruce has it, only just. They've read the script though, haven't they, Hull? They've decided they weren't going to give possession to Devereux, as you picked up rightly, in that first half.
They have not kicked to him once. And there you see Devereux having to go right across the other wing to try to get the possession. It's all a matter of tactics. You've got to be very, very happy, I'm sure, is Roy Simmons. Tactics have worked exceptionally well. Even though he hasn't got a smile on his face, I'm sure he's got a nice warm glow underneath that overcoat.
20 points to 4, his team winning here as we are entering stoppage time. Or is it Paul Eastwood kicking time? I'm not quite sure. This is Davis. Came on in the second half. Didn't really make any impact for Widnes. They were a beaten side, to be fair, weren't they, when he arrived on the scene?
He was asking a lot of the Welsh international. Let's not forget, of course, that just coming back after a long injury. Can't expect too much from him.
I wonder, Mike, how much all the talk in the papers and in the media has affected the Widnes players this week. Davis allegedly on his way somewhere else because Widnes can't afford him, and all the financial problems off the field. It must, I suppose, filter through to the players eventually.
My word, if you get to a situation where you know that your business or your club or whatever, and you realise that one of your mates can't get paid, you start to think, well, that I'll get paid. Always at the back of their mind, it is a problem, but I'm afraid Widnes are not the only ones. There's quite a few clubs in that position.
Yes, theirs has just been made a little more public than others, I think. This is Adrian Hadley, one of the signings for Phil Larder this season, and making a total, complete and utter knee of a bat. And Hadley there with this, summing Widnes' day up completely. Watch it. Oh.
Well, he's nearly had it all day, hasn't he? He's probably had the football more times than any player, as Hull have really just rammed it down into that corner.
Can Hull end with a flourish then? 2.5 minutes of stoppage time played. It's all over as far as Widnes are concerned. Oh, and it's all over as far as Hull are concerned too. Dive drops it. The trialist won't be happy with this.
Well, it was to be expected, I suppose. Quite a lot of mistakes. There you can see very muddy, especially in the middle of the field.
Here's Devereux now. Scott Gale, number 6 locally, the Man of the match here, no wonder. 2 tries from him, his first double in Hull's colours. Black and white and a touch of purple these days. There's the siren. The agony is over for Widnes. The 2 points belong to Hull. A comprehensive display by the men from Humberside. Scott Gale with 2 tries. 20 points to 4, the victory. Ivan Henjak and Gale control things in the centre of the field. Tactically, a good performance from Hull. Widnes, well, the inquests will continue. Hull by 20 points to 4 here over Widnes. 12-0 half-time, just over 4,000 here to see it. The other results now from the Stones Bidder Championship. Confirmation of Friday's result at the top and today's. Halifax 20, Hull Kingston Rovers 12. Lee 16, Sheffield 14. Wakefield 34, Salford 4.